Hello, today we are looking at a new topic object relationship, which includes association, aggregation, and composition. The question that we have already asked many times is how real life objects are created. So, new objects are created from other object using inheritance relationship. This we have seen before. In object oriented programming, we have created object before by using inheritance relationship. It's a easier relationship usually, in which child object inherits properties from their parents. This philosophy is also used in object-oriented programming, where a new object is derived from a base object. In an inheritance relationship, derived class or derived object inherits properties and functionality of base class. So this is one way of creating new object. Is there any other approach of creating new object? We have to see this. So let us take few examples of real life objects which are often created from small or simpler objects. The first example, a person had a leg, head, and hands. Here you can see that a person is a big object, a complex object which has been created out of head, leg, and hands as small object or simpler object. So what is so important part in this case? Here this is not an inheritance relationship. A person is not a head, person is not a leg. But we can say person has head, person has legs, and person has hands. Another thing we can note in this case is these small objects which are becoming part of a person are created when a person is created. A second example we can see here is a book contains chapter and table of contents. In this case also we can see that chapters and table of contents are inherent part of an object, a complex object called as a book. These are inseparable. Similarly, we can say that a example called as a car. A car has components or a more simpler object called as engine and vehicle, wheels, gear, accelerator, and so on. So in this case, this example is a bit different than the earlier example person. Here you can say that the car's parts, engine and wheel can be created separately and then connected to car. In case of person, when a person dies, there is no use of head and leg and hands. We can say that the life of head, leg and hands ends along with the person itself. But in case of car, you will notice that this is not happening with engine and wheels. Even though car is not existing, engine and wheels still exist. It can still be used in other cases. Another example we can take is an example of a tree which has got fruits, flowers, leaves and branches as parts, other simpler objects. But in this case also you see that when a tree is created, along with that branches are created, leaves are created. Sometimes the leaves are increasing, gets removed out of a tree, but as soon as the leaves are removed out of a tree, their life ends. We have another example here. College has departments and department has students. So this is again a has relationship. College has departments. Departments are not created when college is created. There may be few departments present, few departments are not present, created later on. So college still exists without the departments. Department may be created later on. Department has students. Again, even though the department is present and not present, student will be there. The student may be part of some other department. Another example is a team has a players. So you can say a team is created out of players, but the life of a player has not been controlled anymore by team. Team may exist, may not exist. Player do exist, irrespective of team. So these are some of the examples that we have seen. Another surprising example we can see here is doctor can have many patients and patients can have many doctors. Here there are one to many, many to one sort of relationship exists. So what is the conclusion of this? One object, in this case you can say is one object is associated with some other objects. The relationship is kind of association present. So the question is, these are examples of real life objects. So can we create software objects also by using these concepts? So answer to this is yes. We have got a three kind of relationship which actually makes this sort of object creation possible. These are composition, aggregation, and association. These are the techniques of creating complex object from the simpler object. Composition, aggregation, and association. These are the three techniques by which we can create complex object from simpler objects. Although the way they are created are different. All these basically are association but still have a different features and properties. Composition, aggregation, and association, all three creates complex object from simpler object, but the way they are creating these are different. So we have to look at exactly how they create these sort of different objects. Association is a technique of associating simpler object with complex object. The complex or simple relation, sometimes also called as a whole part relationship. So a whole object is created out of part objects. So first take a look at composition. So composition is a technique of collecting several objects together to create a new object. Composition is usually a good choice when one object is inherently the part of another object. Example is a human case or person case. Person is created from hand, legs, head, heart, and other object. But you will notice that the hand, head, heart are inherent part of a human, inseparable part of a human. You cannot separate them. They cannot live separately. You cannot take away a heart of a person outside and you can find still the heart is living and the person is also living. So this part cannot be shared to another object. This is what an important part of composition relationship. In other words, whole object owns the part object. Whole object is the owner of the part object in this case, sole owner of the part object. Important characteristics of composition. Whole object owns the part of a part objects. Part object inherently belongs to only one whole object. The part object is not having separate existence apart from the whole object. Just like in case of human, the legs, hand, heart doesn't have a separate existence out of the human. They live when the human lives. They die when the human die. The lifetime of object part is same as that of a lifetime of a whole object. When the whole object destroyed, part object also get destroyed along with it. So after looking at what is a composition, now let us see how a composition is implemented in C++. In composition, typically the part objects are declared as normal variables. Because you know that normal variables are created at the time of creating the object itself, main object itself. Part objects are declared as a pointer member if the whole class handles the object allocation and deallocation itself. I mean, if you declare the part object as pointer variables, then you have to allocate memory for this part object in the constructor itself. Whole object is responsible for creation and destruction of its all part objects. It is not created separate. Now let us take few examples of composition along with UML notation. I have shown some of the examples in a simplified fashion, but they are enough to give you idea in detail. Let us take first example of a human has heart. Here we have shown a diagram. Human has a heart. So heart is an inherent part of a human. Heart is created with a human and also destroyed with human. There is no separate existence of a heart without human. We cannot say that heart is created separately and then attached to a human. Also, heart cannot simultaneously present in more than one humans. Heart cannot be shared across multiple humans. This is what inherent properties of human and heart. If we decide to implement this by using C++, how we can show is we have a class human. Inside that we declare the heart object as a simple variable, normal variable, heart, my heart. So whenever the human object is created, heart is automatically gets created along with it. A UML relationship, UML notation relationship between whole part is shown over here. In UML relationship, we show the relationship by means of an arrow with a filled diamond on the hold part side. Another example is bit little complex compared to the earlier one. Here we are taking example of a tree. Tree is having leaves and roots. Tree is composed of, we can say, leaves and roots. So we have a tree object created from root object and leaf object. The relationship is shown by a line along with diamond here. So, and roots and leaves are an inherent part of tree. Roots and leaves are created with trees when the tree is created. Root and leaves of one tree cannot be shared with another tree. Root and leaves are having existing until the tree exists. When the tree dies, these leaves and root also no more exist. If we decide to implement them by using a C++ class, how we can do it? So a class tree, inside that we have created simple variables of type root, tree root, and leaves, tree leaves. The next relationship that we are going to study is aggregation relationship. Aggregation is also a kind of relationship used to create complex objects from simpler objects. However, there are still some differences between the earlier method that we have seen, composition, and the aggregation. We will see them one by one. So, aggregation is a type of association used to indicate that part objects are assembled together to create new objects. Here, the emphasis is on assembled together. The part objects are assembled together to create new object. So, the part object is not inherent part of whole object. That is what most important thing to note. So let us take a look at important characteristics of aggregation. Number one, lifetime of whole and part objects are independent. Whole object do not manage life of part object anymore. Second important point is shared part object can exist in multiple whole objects, but the part object exists in one whole object at a time. It cannot exist simultaneously in multiple whole object. That is what a key difference in between composition and aggregation. Whole object does not own the part object at all. It simply shares the part object. Now, how aggregation we can implement in C++. Let us take a few points about the implementation. Typically, whole class uses pointer or reference member that points to or reference object that live outside the scope of aggregation class. Whole class is not responsible for creating or destroying the part objects. Let us take few examples of aggregation with UML notation. The first example is an example of a department and the student as the member of department. This is an example of aggregation because here a student is a member of department, but the life of student is not decided by department anymore. Student can exist when the department closes. A student may decide to enroll in other departments also, but a student exists in one department at a time. A student do not exist in two departments simultaneously. How aggregation is shown in the diagram? You can see the aggregation in between department and student is shown by a line with a diamond, empty diamond at department side, a whole part side. How the class, department and students are implemented? So here is the implementation detail, class, department, and inside this the student object is declared as a pointer object. It is not a normal variable in this case. That's why it won't get created at the time of department is created. Whereas the object is assigned to a student pointer later on via a method enroll. So whenever we want to enroll a student, we call an enroll method and we pass actual object of student to this. and then the actual student object get assigned to us S1 pointer in this case. So department is not taking responsibility of creating S1 student object in this case. Student object is created separately outside the department object, and then it is assigned to a department via enroll method. Take another example of aggregation. This example is of a car. Car has got engine and doors, but you can see the engines and doors are created separately. They are not created along with car. They are assembled in the car. Car is basically an assembly of engine and doors in this case. So engine and doors are created separately. Whenever a car is constructed, we fit engine into it. We attach doors to it. But whenever an engine is attached to a car, it remains with a single car only. It is not possible that two cars share the same engine. We may fit the engine of a car to another car also, but for that we have to remove the engine from first car and then we can attach it to another car. So an engine and door are part of car. Engine and doors can present even without a car. Their lifetime is not decided by car anymore. A door or engine cannot simultaneously present in more than one car. However, they can be removed from one car and placed in another. Now let us take a look at implementation of class car. So in the class car, we can see here that the object of door and engine are declared as a pointers. So they are not created at all in a car anymore. We have separate function attach doors, which actually assigns a separately created doors to the doors of a car. Similarly, we have a attach engine method available, which takes the input of externally created engine as a pointer and then assign the external engine object to a internal car engine pointer. Let us take one more example of aggregation with UML. This is an example of a library. Library consists of publication and stuff. But both publication and stuff are not created when a library is created. They are getting added later on as the time passes. Also, the publication as well as stuff can still have their life even when the library do not exist. Stuff may get added to some another department. Publication may become part of some another library. So hence, library is also an example of aggregation. A library has both publication and stuff. However, life of stuff and publication is not controlled by library anymore. Stuff and publication can still present without library. Next, we will see another object relationship called as association. We are not focused much on association because this is a very weaker form of relation among the objects. Most of time, aggregation and compositions are considered as a subtype of association instead of creating association as an independent relationship. But I do use association as one of separate type in this case because in certain respect it is different than aggregation and composition. Association and aggregation are almost same except association supports two-way communication between objects and a part object might be shared by more than one whole object simultaneously. So this is what difference between the aggregation and association. Example, relation between doctor and patients. A doctor may have many patients and a patient can have many doctors simultaneously. Let us take one example of association. It's a very simple example of association in which we see that triangle is created out of sides. So a side is a part of a triangle in this case. But it is not necessary that a side belongs to only one triangle. In the example shown here, in the diagram we have shown that the two triangles share a common side among them. So here a triangle has sides and side can be shared between triangles. The side can still present even though the triangle do not present at all. Sides are totally scattered separately, we may say. Finally, we will see the summary of composition, aggregation and association. if we differentiate these three relationships by different properties, then the first property is going to be a relationship. So in a composition, the relation type is whole and part. In aggregation also it is whole and part. And in association it is not anymore whole and part. It is unrelated, because in association anything can become a part or anything can become whole. For example, in case of doctor and patient relationship, sometimes patient become the part of a doctor and sometimes doctor becomes part of a patient. That's why we say the relationship is unrelated. Second property we should take into account is the members can belong to multiple class. In composition, members cannot belong to more than one whole class. In aggregation, however, yes, member may belong to different whole class. In association also they belong to more than one whole class. Third property that we see is the member's existence managed by a whole class. In composition, the member object's lifetime is totally decided by whole part. So member's existence is totally managed by whole class. In case of aggregation, however, the member's existence is not at all controlled or managed by whole class. And in association also, the member object's life is not at all controlled by whole class. Fourth property is directionality. So the composition relation is usually a directional. Wheel is a part of car. Car is not a part of wheel. Similarly, aggregation is also a unidirectional. A book can present in a library, but a library do not exist inside a book. Association is, however, can be unidirectional as well as bidirectional. Doctor has a patient and patient also has a doctor. So it is both a unidirectional as well as bidirectional. Relational verb used. In composition, it is usually a has a relationship. Of course, everywhere this is an has a relationship. But to be very specific, in composition, we may call it as part of. In aggregation, we use has a. And in association, we make use of a verb. Always has a, but uses a also. Now, we have already seen some of the examples of aggregation in our lab sessions, lab assignments. One of the example that we have taken is person and address class. Here we have seen that we have declared address object inside a person class. So how do we have created address object inside a person class? So we have created a simple object in this case. The address variable is a simple variable. Why? Because whenever a person is created, along with that it also has got a associated address. A address is an inherent part of a person. When a person born, address gets associated with it. Address may change, but it remains associated with person till its death. That's why address is an inherent part of a person. Address remains exclusively with person. It cannot be shared. A single person has a single address. It is not shared by two persons. Relationship between person and address is unidirectional. Address is a part of a person. Person is not part of an address. Person can access public members of address, but address cannot access members of person anymore. Another example of a composition that we have taken in lab assignment is a stacks and queues example. Stacks and queues has got internally a linked list in which stacks and queues keep their data. Here linked list is a member of stacks and queues class. Reason for composition relation between stack and queue and linked list is linked list is exclusively owned by stack or queue. It is not shared across different stacks or different queues. Linked list is created when a stack or queue is created and destroyed when stack and queue is also destroyed. Linked list members is not shared with another objects. Relation is unidirectional. Stack queue can access member of linked list, but linked list object cannot access members of stacks and queue. With this, our today's session on object relationship ends. I hope this session will be useful to you. Thank you.